to actually go into the box seats at one of the NASCAR races down in Richmond. And that, it'll tell you, it's swank. My wife loves, you ask her if she loves watching racing. Oh yeah, she loves it. She loves sitting in the air conditioning, eating shrimp and eating M&Ms. That's NASCAR to my wife. That's what she's accustomed to. But when we sat in there, we were talking to Miss Earnhardt and all the other people there. At that point, Timothy said, he watched them go around. He said, that's my grandpa. So the question I have for you is, who's asking? Well, I'm gonna ask you a real hard question right now. Are you ready? I want you to look at the person next to you. Ready? Don't look at me, look at the person next to you. And ask, would you like to be like me? Oh! Now, there's a lot of different answers you can give here. Okay? But I'm going to tell you two answers you really don't want. You don't want to hear no. No! And here's the other one. You ready? Here's the other answer. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about the cars. I'm not talking about the houses. I'm not talking about all this. I'm talking spiritually. Can you look at the person next to you and go, how am I spiritually? If you can't do that, something is wrong. Now, of course, there's always those people that are a little higher than the rest. And for them, of course, they all want to be like me. But they'll go down like the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They are. So I want to know, when you say, I want to be like somebody, how about you say, I want to be like them? Maybe it's sports. How about these fine people? Maybe that's who you, what do you think of us? Spiritually, what do you think of us? You know what? I think the middle one's from Russia. I'm just saying that you should be able to look at the people that are around you. Pastor said before, if you want to know who you are, look at the people you hang around with. So if I want to know where you are spiritually, then I'm going to look at the people around you. Now, anybody been in management position? Anybody ever work at Target? Anybody ever work at Walmart? Anybody ever work anywhere where there was an inventory? Of course we have. One time a year, for me, when I worked at Weingarten Chevrolet, it was the worst time of the year, and that was inventory. Because that's where they were going to find out what was missing. Now, did I steal it? I would say not. Did somebody else steal it? Maybe so. Did somebody make an honest mistake and just hand it across the counter and didn't bill it out? That happens too. So the question I have for you is, where's your spiritual inventory? What are you missing in your arsenal? What are you missing in your life? What are you missing that says, you know what? I just don't have it all together. I'm missing something. Now, if you ask for or want to be spiritual, what are you going to ask for? Are you going to ask for more knowledge? Are you going to ask for more clairvoyancy? What are you going to ask for? Give me the gift that you're going to ask for. Because I'm going to tell you, when you are spirit-led, there are gifts involved. And gifts are scary. They are scary. Especially if you don't know what's in the box. So when you start dealing with the Spirit, and you're starting to be Spirit-led, and things start happening, and you go, oh, I didn't want that. Whew, what am I going to do now? You know what? Maybe the Spirit will fill you so much that your child, your neighbor, your boss will come to you and go, because if people aren't saying that about you, you are not. How are you going to fix that? Because there's one thing I know, is the only way to be Spirit-led is to hear the Word. You got to hear the Word, and then you get faith. But you know what? I look around at some Christians, especially on TV. They're scary Christians on TV. You ever notice that? Have you ever noticed when somebody read this out? Read it out loud to me. Read this awesome message. Read it. Come on, everybody. Where? Man, I'm running to heaven right now. What does that make you feel like? That angers me. I'm Spirit-filled. That angers me. Because if somebody tried to convince me, oh, Jesus loves me. He tells, he's told, he put the Bible. Okay, we know it, right? But you know what? His plan is hell. Why? Because you're a sinner? Because Maybe you did something you shouldn't have done before you got married. Maybe you took a paperclip from the office. Maybe you stole a piece of bread. Maybe you told a white lie. Now maybe you did a lot worse. But guess what? There's no big number system in heaven system that's going to say, this was worse than this, and this was worse than this, and this was worse than this, so you get to go to hell. Is that going to evangelize you? You know what the worst part is of being a Christian? The worst part of being a Christian, we're not known for our love. We're known for what we oppose. That's what shows up on TV. Hey, like this one. God hates shrimp. Why does God hate shrimp? Anybody know? Leviticus tells us He hates shrimp. Leviticus tells us that pastors making us eat crabs. Oh! But I can have a heart cook God eats crabs because my wife loves crabs. This is what people see. This is who God. This is what people think we are. Do you think they think that we're loving Christians? No. You know what they think? They think that we don't know what's going on in our own life. You know, there's a lot of different... What kind of Christians are there? Is there just one? Well, we can say there's one Christian that's saved. Saved Christians are awesome. We're all saved Christians. But we all have different methods of trying to get where we're trying to go, don't we? Now, any of y'all ever heard me preach before, you know I love the props. Now, I brought my little props out. Now, you know what this prop represents? Now, I'm going to leave this out here for you today. Because if any of you guys here are the measuring rod of Christ and can measure up, stand on up in here. Get up in here and come up here and don't be on your knees and watch what happens you try to measure up to Christ. Because Christ is the measuring rod, none of you. If you think you are the measuring rod, whew, you got pain coming. Now I had to make sure Pastor didn't look in my good bag today. Because he's like me, every day is Christmas. Now, some of you know my wife is an artist. I want to show you my artistic ability as a sculptor. You like that? He's cute, isn't he? Oh, I hear some Mr. Bill references there. Stand up here, guy. Don't be afraid. He got a big heart, doesn't he? He's going from the heat. But I'm going to tell you, that's like a lot of us. We have a big heart. You fell over? Well, it depends if you fall forward or backwards, right? Here, let's push him down a little bit. But you know, there is different ways we handle people. And this is what... let me see what... Anybody got a pair of these? Man, these are the coolest, aren't they? And this is the kind of Christian I was in the beginning. You won't like me when I'm angry. That's what he says. And he does all kind of things. But you know what? I'm a powerhouse. Hey, look, I'm a powerhouse for God. I'm bringing people to Christ. And I'm going to tell you how great it is. And didn't we just see a sign that God's got a place for you? But I'm going to bring you to Christ. Woo! Man, oh, did you hear about Jesus? Jesus is awesome. And I get home that night. You won't believe it, baby. I talked to 50 people about Jesus. Well, no, they all ran away. Well, one guy didn't break lane. But you know what? I love God. Are you getting them there? Are you saving them people? Can you hear that as well as I hear that? Crank me up. One more time. You won't like me when I'm angry. Oh, God, now I can hear it. Is this the kind of Christian you are? Because you know what? There's a lot of Christians just like that. But you know what? Whew, sorry about that. I'm getting excited here because I got more to show you. But then there's some Christians that are a little different. See these gloves right here? These mechanics gloves. Right. They can touch up to what? 1,300 degrees. I can get in a fiery pit with God, with Satan himself, and I can handle him. I can wrestle with him. I can throw him down. You can't believe what I can do with these. And you know, I was walking down the road one day. This is my baptismal water. And I seen this Christian just laying there. He's almost a Christian. Look, his heart's getting bigger. He's going bald. Lost an arm. But you know what? I'm not like this. This ain't me.